My name is Dr. Jen Anaker. Welcome back to our videos. Through our videos, we're always hoping to give you great topics and great subjects that you can take home for you and your family. Our platforms are threefold. The first one is that we always want to give you good wellness tips. Of course, as a chiropractor, answer your chiropractic questions, as well as give you a little insight into some of the things that I do for my own healthcare. Today's topic is cell phone health. As we continue with the technology of cell phones, it's hard to believe. We've advanced so much that it's hard to believe what life maybe was 10, 15, even 20 years ago. I know, just a funny thought that I had about preparing this. I was in an exercise class, and the woman was making a comment about her teenage kids, how they wanted her to upgrade her phone. And she just kind of paused for that moment to think about the way life used to be, where she's like, remember when you used to have a cell phone? Or not have a cell phone, when you had a phone that was hooked into the wall, and when you were done with the phone call, you walked away from it, and you didn't have to really attend to anything within a phone until it rang again. And so I want you to kind of reflect a little bit on that as you kind of think about how far we've moved into being dependent on our cell phone as we dive into this topic. So cell phones, number one, they're great for technology. They allow us to have great communication with family and friends. But again, certainly we're really attached to them. So we really need to step back and think about that cell phone health. Now, first off, why would this be a concern? In order for your cell phone to be able to work, it has to use EMF, or electromagnetic frequency. And so that's the frequency that comes from the cell phone towers in order for you to pick up the phone call, also to be able to have Wi-Fi, etc. And so that is a frequency that's being put out for you to be able to grab onto your cell phone, we'll say, that can become, if it becomes too much, too often, start to see health concerns. Some of the health concerns, obviously this is newer technology in the last decade or so that research is just kind of catching up on. But the question is, what does that do for even things like cancer, whether it be at your phone, that it's right up to your brain, that can cause cancer, just being too much input in for your body. How does that change? Some people are more sensitive, that they get headaches, they get dizziness. Maybe you notice that you have memory or fatigue. Sometimes people will notice changes in even their memory capability. So let's dive into a few tips about how we can be smart about our cell phones. Obviously thinking back to that instructor in the description of, remember when you could walk away from your phone and not have to really work with it again until it rang? Well, think about that. Is there times when you don't need to be attached to your phone? Can you put it away? Can you turn it off? Those types of things. But certainly it's a big part of our lives. So number one that I want to talk about is sleeping. Watch to make sure that you're not sleeping next to your phone. If your phone's charging right near your bed, it can disrupt your level and quality of sleep and disrupt the melatonin, or the hormone that you utilize for sleep. And so some things to think about are, can you put it away from your bed? Can you put it out of the room? If you use it as an alarm, you're like, that's all I have for an alarm right now. Can you put it in sleep mode, so that way you're not having that constant download of the EMF as it's trying to update your emails, etc. Number two is that when you're on the phone, can you use the speaker, or can you use a headphone set? I use the headphones a lot. Certainly I'll use a speaker if I don't have the headphones. But just even that frequency or that level of concentration begins to die down the further the phone is away from you. So if it's 2 inches away from you, that strength of that EMF or that frequency decreases by 1/4. And then if it's 4 inches away from you, it decreases by 1/16. So can you get it further away from you? And then storage-wise, can you put it, again, as far away from you? Is it, out of your pockets, into a purse, onto a desk, things like that? But if you're having to, or making that choice to carry it near you, one tip that I found was making sure that the keyboard of the phone is closer to you and the back of the phone is further away. That's the area that's collecting the EMF, or that wavelength. So keeping it away. But I would still caution you to question, I get nervous for people when they're storing it in their pockets. Certainly for men, they've noted decreased sperm count and DNA damage to the sperm. Also, for kids that have it closer to their face, their skull is thinner as they're developing. And then again, the women, if they store it, sometimes women will store it like in their bra, and so that's closer to your breast tissue. So certainly think about, even just observe yourself. How are you utilizing your phone? Start to think about a couple of different ways. Maybe you could just not have it near you, further away, and then also utilize some of these tools when you are using it that will be helpful for you. So to sleep away from it, use a speaker or headphone, and certainly watch where you're storing it. So I hope you found this helpful and reflective on your use of your cell phone. Thanks so much.